Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Uncle Strib. Before we get started, remember we're doing subscriber giveaways. We're going to be doing a giveaway on the 1st of the month, the 15th of the month to random subscribers. All you gotta do is subscribe and comment, and once you commented, you have entered for life. So forever have your handle. So do that. We appreciate the support. I'ma strip the wealth, even if I touch a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need the pain. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name. Let's get into it. We have my main man Noah.
How you doing, bro?
Good. So just real quick, you're just on a trip. How was your trip?
It was a pretty good trip. I went back home to Michigan, stopped in Detroit for a few days. Then I was in Grand Rapids, my hometown, for about 4 or 5 days. That was pretty fun.
You drove, right?
Hell yeah.
How was it?
that was
How far is it if you drive straight?
If I drove straight through, that's about 1,400 miles, 1,450, something like that.
So like 20 plus hours?
Oh yeah. If we were to drive straight through nonstop, I think it would be like 23, 24 hours.
That's crazy. But y'all stopped in Nashville, right?
Yeah, we stopped in Nashville on the way up and then on the way back.
Okay. Bad. And then it was, who all went?
It was, so the ones that were in my car with me were my parents and then my youngest sister. She's like 12.
Okay. So then I assume you and Dad split up the driving?
Oh yeah. I mean, he did the, I won't lie, he did the bulk of it. He was totally chill. I was like, you want me to drive? He was like, nah, I'm good. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Well, that's fun time with the, and because you're obviously from Michigan.
Yeah.
And then I guess let's start there. Like, from Michigan, how was it like growing up? And then kind of what led you to San Antonio?
So growing up in Michigan, I'm not gonna lie, it was just my first 10 years of my life. So as I got older, you don't remember it as much. But I mean, it was fun. I appreciate you. It was fun. I mean, you know, you have all 4 seasons. I miss that. Love that. You see all the leaves fall. You get the snow. You always have a white Christmas.
Yeah.
The lake effect there is crazy as well. The snow, man. Like you think you get snow bad in other places. You go to Michigan, you get all the lake effect there. You get inches on inches. We had a blizzard one year when I was living there.
Oh yeah, because you're all right on the lake.
Yeah, all the lakes.
Yeah,
We're really surrounded, so it gets cold. Like it gets sub-zero, but you can get used to it. But what led me to moving was my mom actually got married to my dad, and then he was in the Air Force, so we moved to Colorado for a year. Lived there for about a year, in Colorado Springs. It was fun, beautiful out there. Love the mountains. Then after a year there, got moved down to here in San Antonio, and then he did about 2 years here. Then he retired.
And then, so what age was that, or I guess how long ago was the move to San Antonio?
I want to say 12, going on 13 years now. It'll be 13 in June.
Okay, so you moved from Michigan at 10.
Yeah.
And then from 10 to I guess 11, you were in Colorado. And then from 11 to now you've been in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been here a hot minute.
Yeah, so I'm mostly used to San Antonio.
Okay, then what? 10's young, but like 10's still old enough to where you like remember
bits and pieces.
Right. Like it's interesting because like I lived in to Michigan's like Midwest, considered Midwest.
Midwest.
I lived in the Midwest for 5.5-ish years. Was there like a culture shock from Michigan to Colorado, San Antonio? How was that transition?
So Michigan to Colorado, honestly, like I was too young to really like be able to see a culture difference for the most part. But San Antonio to Michigan, definitely. There's a big culture difference down there. It was funny because growing up, you always hear about like Southern hospitality and everything.
Yeah.
But for me, honestly, I think it's the reverse. I think people are friendlier up north.
Really?
Yeah, like when I went on my trip recently, like everyone's being super sweet, super nice to us. And like,
in Michigan or Nashville? Because
Nashville and Michigan.
Nashville's still technically the South.
I guess it is the South, yeah. But Michigan for sure.
Yeah.
Like, even Detroit, I was sitting there like, you know how Detroit's always seen as a little bit edgier.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's sweet, super sweet there. Like we got an upgraded room for free and everything like that.
Yeah, I think Southern hospitality is still a thing, but I do think that whole notion of like people in certain areas are more uptight, I think that's an old school thing.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, generally, if you go places and you yourself carry yourself with like a level of respect and just like, or up front or outwardly you seem like a genuine, like kind person, I feel like it's reciprocated just about anywhere you go.
Oh yeah, if they see you giving respect, they're gonna give it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but I definitely, I know when I was younger, I went to New York, and obviously I never lived like up north, but I definitely felt the difference from, because I was born and raised in Tennessee, born in Jackson, Tennessee, pretty much moved to Nashville from second grade all the way up through when I graduated high school, and then went to Missouri. I definitely felt there was a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Like, and then here here it's like hit or miss. It really depends.
Yeah. You get a little bit of Southern hospitality, but then you also get a little bit of that now. So
yeah, where like people, like if you walk at people, like won't even make eye
you.
contact. But then you have the people that will, like, if they see you, they'll at least acknowledge you, whether it's a head nod or a hey or good morning or just like a literally that's it. You just give it back and just like all right, keep it pushing. So what is kid Noah like?
Oh God, kid Noah. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shithead. Like I was always angry. I was always acting out, doing something, doing the most. I was very. I don't know if colorful is the right word, but I was very out there. I was very much very energetic, very high energy.
Like extrovert.
Yeah, I was very extroverted as a kid, and then I don't know, something just switched. I became a little bit more introverted.
When do you think that switch happened?
I'll be real, happened during COVID.
Yeah.
Because COVID, I went from, I was always in a sport, doing an activity. I was always in school, doing something outside my house, to I was locked in my room. I didn't have a job or anything, too, at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
So I was just literally sitting there gaming.
And how old were you during COVID?
I just graduated high school.
Okay, so
19.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what was the background into sports? Is that something you got pushed into? What was your first sport? Like,
first sport? It's honestly hard to say. I played a lot of sports. First sport I remember playing was baseball.
Okay, yeah.
And then I went to hockey, and that kind of took over my life for a minute. I was doing hockey with a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball, and then I moved down to Texas, where I couldn't play hockey anymore. It was just too expensive. Like,
right. Yeah.
There's leagues here, but with the price you're paying, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing the switch from hockey to football. I started taking football more serious, and then by high school, I was mainly just track, football, and basketball.
Okay. And then that wasn't too long. Well, yeah, that wasn't too long ago.
No, I mean it was long, but not yet. It wasn't.
Yeah, in comparison. So, what do you think? Growing up, moving. I mean, you didn't move too crazy. Obviously, you had a very short stint in Colorado. Besides that, it was pretty much Michigan and
Texas.
And yeah, Texas. What do you think you've learned? Like, what? How do I want to word this? There's that concept of like nature versus nurture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, realistically, it's a combination of both. But like, what do you think, like, from your upbringing, how your parents were compared to who you hung around? How do you think that impacted you growing up?
It's hard to say because I've hung out with a lot of different people, a lot of different like types of groups.
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest thing I noticed from my parents was, as weird as it sounds, education. They took education very serious, as most parents do. But even then, like just interacting with certain people, I could tell that the way my education was taken seriously in my household was different than most people. Because some people are like, oh, I just kind of slacked off on this, that. And my parents would let them get away with it. My house in there, like, man, my parents would chew my ass.
Oh, yeah.
My ass out. Yeah. Like, I would be in the house. I would not go to a football game. Something.
Yeah. Grades were like a priority number one.
Yeah, that was like my number one thing. I'd say the other big thing, and maybe I noticed it more down here as I got older, was the way you talk to adults as a kid. Now, that's not everyone, but the majority of people, I even see in kids now, where it's like, my parents tell her, like, hey, they're an adult, it doesn't matter what type of, like, how much older they are. They're an adult, and they're older than you, telling you something to do, you respect it, and you give them that respect. Where nowadays, especially, like, I don't really see that much with kids.
No, I feel like nowadays, even if you're an adult or like a quote-unquote elder, it's almost like you have to earn the respect. It's not just automatically like a level of respect there, Like, especially at work, like, when we see it, like, I know when I was a kid, if I talked to any worker in the store, like, it was always yes ma'am, no ma'am. Like, I was being super respectful of them as a kid. Where now, like, you see kids to back talk us, so they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's...
I remember I was at North Star, some kid was like, hey, you got a bathroom in the back? I was like, nah, man, like, I don't have a bathroom in the back, but there is a public restroom upstairs. He's like, he just looked at me. He's like, come on. I know you got one in the bag. And I was like,
come on.
And he's like just sitting there talking back to me. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I still don't have one. At least not for you.
Yeah.
And it's just and this guy was like, oh, you could have just let him use it. I'm like, you can have your kid not talk back too. Like,
yeah. And then they don't understand like. They camera check. We got somebody in the back. I'm not losing my job.
Yeah, exactly.
In the bathroom.
You fired.
Yeah, like, people don't understand. I think one of the biggest things, especially working in retail, I've started to realize is people. You can tell people that have never worked in retail when they think that it's just easy to bend the rules or overlook something when they don't understand. Especially at Shoe Palace, they have eyes on us 24/7.
They're always seeing what we're doing.
They don't understand if we try to run a discount through a Jordan, they will get notified.
They get flagged.
They get flagged whenever we use like an employee discount. They camera check it and see to make sure the employee is using the discount. Cause like I had dude, while you were gone, I had one dude come in. He was trying to buy those Jordan 5s we still had, the white ones. And he was like, can I get a military on it? I was like, military's not going to work on it. And it's a retro Jordan, so even if I tried to do it, it wasn't even going to let me allow access to it. He was like, y'all do military? I was like, no, that's like a thing. I've been there since 2021, right? We've never allowed military on a retro Jordan. And so he goes, well, I got military at a Shoe Palace. I was like, wasn't this one? He goes, no, it was here. I was like, it can't be. And so we went this back and forth. He's like, well, you try it? You want to try it? I'm like, bro, I can't do it. And then I was like, even if I could, I'm not going to risk getting a phone call from Jose.
Yeah.
Because I tried to hook you up. First, I don't even know this dude. It's not even like we're close friends.
Like that.
Yeah. So then just to show him, I did it, and obviously it says can't, whatever. And I showed him the screen. Because like he was almost like trying to it was almost like a bet money on it type of vibe he had.
$200. I bet this pair of shoes on it, bro.
And in my head, I'm like, bro, I ain't got time to be. Are you gonna buy the shoe or not?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I kept it respectful. I was like, yeah, I can't do it. Like we did this, that, and the third. And he still ended up buying the shoes. But it's like, bro, you don't understand that even if it did go through, I wasn't gonna give you that because I'm not willing to jeopardize my job or a write up because you want 10% off a shoe.
Like, bro, you just saving on tax at the end of the day, maybe $5 extra.
Yeah, it's not that serious. Like, yeah, if like in the principle of if somebody brings to go to the bathroom, we have an employee bathroom in the stock room, but no customers are allowed back there. So in theory, it's like, yeah, you could just use it real quick. It's like no big deal to the customer.
Yeah.
As an employee, if they camera check and see that, it's either a write up or you're literally fired.
Yeah.
Because we got a customer in the stock room, which especially with our store, the number of investigations we've had in the past 12 months, absolutely, like we're on thin ice. We're on thin ice already. And if they check and see we just got some random dude, absolutely.
Who the hell back there?
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's not even worth it.
And customers don't realize too, it's not even just like our job at stake. It's like you get hurt back there.
We're liable. Yeah,
we're liable for that. Like you could sue the company, and it's like why are we gonna put you in a spot where you could potentially hurt our company and hurt us? Like we're not gonna do that.
And then if you get fired, like for example, we're AMs. If we get fired for something stupid like that, when we try to apply to a job somewhere else, we can't put Shoe Palace on there as managerial experience because if they call Shoe Palace, then they're gonna know. Well, they were fired for this, that, and the third.
Policy, basically.
Right. So then, so even if you try to go for another managerial position, you can't use Shoe Palace as a reference because you got fired from there.
Exactly.
So then it's like this whole thing where it does more than just lose your job. Like it will follow you to where now you got to start from like the bottom up. You can't go from manager position to manager position in a different place. So it's,
And depending on how long you're there, you're going to have that gap in your resume too, so you can't put Shoe Palace on there.
Yeah, they're going to be like, well, the last time you worked was 2020. What'd you do in between? And now you got to either lie or be like, I worked at Shoe Palace. And they're like, well, what happened there? I got fired. Now it's like,
it's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you're like, you're just making yourself look worse in the interview.
Yeah, and then you're probably not getting the job.
Yep. So, It's like when I had that kid from Rolling Oaks. He tried to get his employee discount. Or my employee discount for him. And he was just a part-timer.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, because the higher percent.
Yeah. And I was sitting there, I'm like, bro, you tripping. Like, I don't even know you. I don't even give my own staff my discount. Why would I give it to you?
Yeah.
And then I broke it down to him. How Jose could see everything. He was like, oh, for real? He's like, whoa, Eddie said you can just come around the corner. No, and I was like, nah, bro. I was like, if Eddie wants to do that for you, cool, but I'm not risking my job for that.
Absolutely not. especially because in the look you're clocked in, and it's
just
and
gonna
if
be
your
on hold.
thumb's on it, this, that, and the third, no, it's not worth it.
Exactly. And I only had Chadney there, so Chadney can't even give me my discount.
Right.
So I would have been giving myself my own discount.
Yeah. But back to kind of the original question. So I know, like, for me growing up, I'm kind of like a mix between an extrovert and introvert. Like I'm very like I'm very like high energy all the time, out of pocket, but like in a funny way, like playing around. I don't when I make these jokes, I don't really mean it to hurt people. Like, I'm just being funny.
You're just having a good time.
Right. But I don't really like going out, like, in terms, so it's like a weird, not antisocial, but like I like in certain settings hanging out, but I don't like groups of people, so I don't really like going out doing a lot of things. And so growing up as a kid, I was inside, basically. Like I was really inside. And so when it came to like when I went to college, I feel like I had a lot more nurture than nature. Because one, being in sports, so I'm like constantly busy. So half the time I wasn't outside because I was like focused on sports. And then like my parents really like instilled these different like values, morals, disciplines, this, that, and the third. So by the time I got to the point where I'm in college on my own and I'm around these external environments, I wasn't swayed to get into any trouble. I knew right from wrong. I knew if I went to, like, there's been situations where I go to a party and there's substances there and I'm like, oh no, I'm out. I'm out. Because that off chance that even if I'm not participating, if I'm there and the off chance somebody calls something because we're being loud, police show up, they don't know who has what, and they book all of us. Like, I'm not even trying to.
I'm not trying to be associated with that.
Right. But like I had that social awareness to, I don't even want to be around that stuff. Do you see, if you could like maybe put in like a percent, what percent do you think of what you have that's instilled in you is your parents' upbringing? And then maybe like, you do have friends that instill like I've learned a lot of things from my friends just from, whether it's other ways, work that was installed by my parents, but like seeing how other people work, I like that. Or like, my time management skills, I picked that up from other people besides my parents. Like, I like how to do that. How much do you think the nature versus nurture was in your upbringing?
I'd honestly say it's probably about 50-50. Because
50-50.
when I was younger, it was probably more like 75-25.
For 75?
75 from my parents.
Okay.
For their nurturing. But as I got older, I just started, having my own views, my own opinions.
Yeah.
I started exploring different things myself, educating myself on everything. So that's where I started getting like more like 50-50. Even now, I'd say it's started to get a little bit lower on the parent side.
Yeah.
But that's not even anything against them. It's just more so
you're independent.
You're
independent too.
So it's like I'm trying out my own things, doing my own thing now, talking to other people about who with different beliefs, whether it be political, religious, anything like that, or just anything that I can learn more from.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I can learn from someone, I'm going to take all the knowledge I can.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'd say it's probably about 50-50 right now. And yeah, I can't really.
And so that brings me to another question. Oh my God, I think I just lost it. Oh, no, I got it. So let's say you're meeting somebody for the first time. Like, what are some values or things that you look for in a potential, like, I guess, friend? Like, how you meet somebody and, like, me personally, I don't want to say I have trust issues, but for me to, like, really, really consider you, for me to be, like, a ride or die or down, I have to get to know you, but before I even put the energy into getting to know you, there are things I look for in like a personality trait with people when I like conversate with them for the first time. What are some things that you look for, you value for in a person when you're determining whether this is somebody I could learn from or this is somebody I could potentially like, bounce off with and grow with, whether it's in the work or friend setting?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's gonna be honesty. Yeah. It's gonna be the big one's gonna be honesty, because at the end of the day, if I see them doing like small white lies or he lies here and there to some other friends, coworkers, managers, bosses, like significant others, whatever, what's gonna stop that person from lying to me? Later in the future. The other one is talking bad about people behind their back and being two-faced. If I see someone that's always sitting there talking bad about someone behind their back,
what are they saying
about me when I'm out in the room? It's like I know they're saying something because they're already doing it with all these other people. So usually once I see with those two people, like those two things in someone, I kind of keep my distance. Like if I have to interact with them, I will, but they won't be my friend group.
Yeah, it'll be
We'll be
like
acquaintances.
strictly, like co-workers or colleagues.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know for me, the biggest thing I look for is authenticity.
Okay.
Because generally, when you first meet somebody, it's hard to tell if they're like being themselves or if they're like trying to put forth a specific persona. For me, it's like who are you really?
Yeah.
I have like a weird obsession with how the human mind works and like how like people interact socially depending on their situations. And when you first meet somebody, they can say whatever, they can pretend to be whatever, but like down the road, like 3-4 months from now, like who are you really? Yeah, like we've had some suspicious hires in the past where on the first day I met them, I told Paul, I was like, hey man, there's something off about this guy. Like keep an eye on him. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, not maybe a couple months later, he ended up getting terminated because of some bullshit in the store.
Kid that was stealing.
Yeah.
Like when that sold was it 5s or something like that?
It was either a 5 or I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that Mia caught.
Yes.
Yeah, that kid.
But day one, I told Paul, I was like, there's something about him, he rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because like he's like, I don't want to say the fact that he was quiet threw me off, but like when I first work a shift with somebody, I'm asking questions. Yeah. I'm trying to like figure out like what makes them tick, like how do they think. And there was just something about him. I'm asking these questions, and his answers, I'm like, this seems like bullshit.
Yeah.
Which I try not to judge first, but in my head, you got that gut feeling when somebody rubs you the wrong way, and then you find out they was doing some dirty shit. In your mind, you're like, I knew it.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those. I'm like, I don't think like it's just something about him and his. I hate using the word aura, but it's just something about his energy he gave off. I'm like, something's off, dude.
I'll say that. That's where you gotta trust your gut. And one thing I've learned is I always ignored my gut feeling when it came to people like that, and that's what got me fucked over later on.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm not sure if you care.
No, yeah.
That's what got me screwed over later on.
You can cuss.
And so that's probably my biggest lesson growing up. Was sitting there learning not to just trust people just because they tell you the nice things. Like you gotta really figure out who this is before you commit your time and energy and be around this person.
Yeah, 100%. I know for me, what I'll do is, because at first, like, if I meet somebody, particularly in the work setting, it's very rare that I'm just meeting someone in a friend setting. But sometimes you meet people by a friend of your friend or whatever. But especially in the work setting, like I'll keep that. I won't make any judgments yet or any moves. But small red flags, I'll just note it. Okay, I'll keep that to the side. Yeah. And then sometimes somebody could give off a red flag, and it not really be a genuine red flag. It's just, that seems a bit suspicious. And then later down the road, you're like, oh, okay, it was.
They're just being a little.
They're maybe a little nervous or whatever. But just because there's a red flag doesn't mean that person's up to something. But it is something. It's like, all right,
keep an eye on that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like mental no. Okay, cool. And then maybe down the road, you're like, oh no, this person's cool. Like they're
they're actually really chill.
Maybe they're just super quiet and they don't really like small talk. Okay, cool, whatever.
All right, you can like, okay, I can get past that now.
Yeah. But man, Shoe Palace. So it is. We're on the cusp of. We're about halfway through the year.
That's right. Crazy thing too.
Yeah, it's crazy. So. Talk about, obviously, for those of y'all that don't know, if you couldn't tell, we work together, the same store. We're both assistant managers at Shoe Palace store, 1241 La Cantera. Come see us at La Cantera Mall. We're by Dillard's, because nobody knows where we are. We're by Dillard's. We're right next to Dillard's. If you go to Spencer's, to that back wall, we're across the street. Come see us. That back wall of Spencer's is crazy.
They all be over there.
But what got you into Shoe Palace?
So funny enough, Ingram Festival, the newest location in San Antonio, when that was getting ready to be built, I worked at the Michaels that's right next to it.
Oh, okay.
And so at the time, I was getting ready to leave there, and I quit, and then my homie that also worked there, he let me know, he's like, hey, there's a shoe place we're going to open up next door, because they knew I like shoes.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, let me apply, see what happens. And sure enough, I sent in my application, I had the interview with Gilroy the next week.
Oh, Gilroy
interviewed you? He interviewed me. He interviewed me over at Ingram. And
shout out Gilroy.
Miss you, bro.
I highly doubt he'll see this, but in case he does,
if you're watching this, leave a comment, bro.
I might send, if it's the same phone number, I might just send him the link.
Hey, watch this real quick. But no, he interviewed me, and I remember at the end of the interview, I kind of knew I was getting hired, but he asked me, he was like, would you want to be a sales lead? for like this money, and I told him, I was like, Doc, I already got like over a year worth of manager experience. Like, I'd be tripping if I thought I was gonna take a sales lead job. And he's like, all right, well, we'll get back to you. And sure enough, a few days later, he called me. He was like, hey, yeah, you're hired. Like, we'll take you.
For the AM position?
For the AM position. Yeah. And so within, like, I think it was a week or two is when I got sent over to North Star for training for 2 weeks. And then I got sent back to Ingram Fest to go build it out.
Okay. Yeah, bro, that store's beautiful. I went to I think it was the day of the grand opening. I went to see, because obviously Mia was the AM at La Cantera. So me and Mia actually talk, like me and Nate were in a group, man. So like we talk weekly, but I just went to see just to like support or whatever. I ended up buying like some cleaners. But I went to the open. That store is nice. I love the setup.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful in there. I like it. Seems a lot brighter and just happier in there.
Yeah.
Because if you notice the lighting, it's that white light.
Yeah.
It makes it
it's like
brighter.
it's a white LED. It's probably LED.
Where some of ours are a mixture of white LEDs with that yellow light still, and so it just makes it feel a little bit gloomier.
Yeah. I
mean, it also helps too. Like, La Cantera's outside and you can see the sky and stuff like that, but you're still in a mall. Where over there, you're seeing a parking lot, just seeing bright open like the day. Yeah. So it just makes you feel better when you're in there. I also like the stock room. I mean, I can actually like run laps in there if I want.
I don't think I've ever been in the stock room there. I didn't go in the back.
Stock room is massive.
Yeah.
It's probably about the size of our sales floor and stock room combined.
Jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. So, backtrack just a little bit. When did the shoe stuff start for you? When did the shoe obsession start for you?
So I'll say I started like getting into shoes and looking into them more probably about a year before I started working at Shoe Palace. But I didn't start collecting like that. Yeah. I started collecting when I worked at Shoe Palace, and that's when it's like Shoe Palace became a blessing and a curse. I mean, it's a blessing because I'm making more money. You know, I'm a manager, I have access to all these cool shoes. It's a curse because I started buying a pair of shoes a week. Yeah. Like last year, I probably bought about, just for myself, 50 pairs of shoes.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I definitely crunched the numbers recently. You don't want to know how much I spent.
Dude, there was 1 year where La Cantera was top 5 in the company for Afterpay, because everybody was just afterpaying. All the employees were just afterpaying shoes.
Afterpay dangerous, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, dude. So the whole point of Afterpay is you don't have to pay the whole shoe at once. You do 4 payments. So it's divided by 4. But my dumb ass, I had like 4 or 5 shoes on Afterpay. So every 2 weeks, I was paying a full shoe every 2 weeks. Because I had too many. I was like, I'm bullshit.
Yeah, that's what hit me. I was like, I'm basically buying a new pair of shoes. So I could have
just bought it outright.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Yeah. I was bullshit.
That's where I had to slow down a little bit. Because I'd also be buying clothes from Shoe Palace.
Yeah.
For me, because like, our guys from tees, they aren't the craziest, they aren't the best. Like, I guess, design-wise all the time. But at the end of the day, you're getting high quality shirts for us with our discount top for Walmart prices.
Yeah.
I'd be kind of a fool not to get most of the clothes there.
And then what was remember the first pair you bought?
My first pair, so I actually bought 2. My very first ones were the Palominos, the Jordan 1s.
Okay.
Jordan highs, and then my next pair after that, which actually might have been the same transaction, were the Red Cement Jordan 4s.
Okay, yeah.
Those were my first 2 like major pairs, and that was after I worked like 70 hours in a week. I did like 120 hours on that paycheck.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll treat myself.
Yeah.
So I got both of them, and then from there just kind of, it got worse.
Yeah, it's easy. Now, what's the future for you? Like, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in like the next year or 2? Then where do you see yourself like midterm, maybe next 5 years, and then like, what's the ideal dream goal career-wise?
So in the next year or so, funny enough, as of recent, I made a decision. I want to go back to Michigan. I want to move back there. So my goal right now is to move back to Michigan by the end of this lease. So about roughly sometime next year in like March, April. Mm-hmm. I'll probably be working with my homie up there, Eric. Shout out Eric. Hopefully at his same job, which is Founders Brewing Company. I'll do that in the meantime. And then once I get settled up there, I want to go back to school. I want to go for business finance to become a financial advisor.
Okay.
So probably about 5 years, I want to have like my own office where I'm like helping people out financially.
Yeah.
Everything like that. And then in like my later life, I want to be like big sets where I have enough clients and stuff for that job to where I'm making enough money living comfortably. And my main goal for my life is, I've always said, by the time I'm like mid-30s, I want to own my own house. And by the time I'm like mid-40s, if not sooner, I want to build my own house.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my goal for my life right now.
And then what made you want to, get into like the financial sector or market?
My dad's actually financial advisor right now. So I was thinking about it, like he makes good money. I'm a people person for the most part.
Yeah.
I can sit there and talk to them. I love helping people out. So, and also I have it on someone who's already in the industry. So that's free knowledge.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'd be kind of a fool not to follow his footsteps in that because
it
makes good money. Someone's always going to need a financial advisor.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to lose a job either once I get that set and have my clients.
Right.
So it's like that's a stable job. I have someone who has industry knowledge that will give it for free. Obviously, maybe buy some lunch or beer. But so I was like, I'd just be a fool not to fall into that.
That's interesting because I kind of asked you that at work a little bit ago, and it was like the fashion. Is that still something you kind of want to get into on the side, or?
I'm still very passionate about fashion. Very, very passionate. It's something I'm always going to be working on and working towards. But at the end of the day, when you sit back and look at it, fashion, that industry is so hard to get into.
Oh yeah.
So incredibly hard to get into, especially if you're not in the major cities like New York, LA, maybe even Vegas, Chicago. And I'm not in any of those markets. I don't plan to move in any of those areas. So it's going to be very hard to get a job and also get a job where it pays you to live comfortably. Mm-hmm. Especially with the lifestyle I type to live, where I'm always buying shoes, jewelry, clothes, whatever. Yeah. I'm trying to upgrade my life. Like, I'm spending too much money, that's not going to be bringing in enough money. Yeah. Now, once I get my other career as a financial advisor going, have some extra money in there, then I can start putting some of that money into the fashion again. Yeah. But until then, it's just going to be mainly like a hobby, help people out here and there. Yeah.
That's dope. And then, oh my gosh, dude. I be having questions ready to ask, and I just lose them. Jesus Christ, dude.
You'll get it. I'm confident in you.
That's crazy, bro. I'm getting old.
Bro, we both.
I'm literally getting old. Because it was something with the fashion. That's crazy.
You're like, where's my notes real quick?
I usually have just I might need to start writing my notes down, but they're all like up here. And then as we like talk, like I'll
sidetrack a little bit.
Yeah, I'll ask other questions if they come up. But Michigan fashion. What else were we talking about?
Michigan fashion, just growing up.
Got it. Is traveling something that you want to get into eventually, or is it kind of like a?
I'm like hit or miss. It's like, obviously when I move again, I really don't want to move a lot. That's my main thing. But if I find a place where it's like pretty cheap to afford, I'll have that, and then I'll like travel the world, travel the U.S. I'm completely down for that. Especially if my work's paying me. If my work's paying me to travel, tell me where to go. Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, dude, that's the one thing I love about academia, because like, obviously, anybody that watches the pod regularly, I've said this like 1,000 times, but I'm going to Alaska in June for a conference, and it's called the American Astronomical Society, and it's the biggest gathering of astronomers and astrophysicists in the country, and it's twice a year. It's one in the summer, one in the winter. And there are plenty of places you can apply for funding to go. So like I'm going in the summer, and it's fully paid for.
Oh, that sounds fire.
And so that's one thing I love about grad school, as well as like, once I get in academia, that's something I plan on going to every year. I probably won't go to both. I'll probably just go to one. But being able to just travel, because really besides living in Missouri and here, I didn't really start traveling until I moved here in 2019. Because obviously, at undergrad, college, I was playing football. So you don't really have time to just travel when you want. And then when you travel for away games, you're not actually seeing the city. Because like, at least with our program, once you get there and we get to the hotel, you don't leave the hotel. Like you're locked down. Yeah, you can't just. Now, ball games are a little different because sometimes we're there for a week. So they give us days to like go see things, whatever. But I didn't really get to travel. And once I got here, I started trying to go to like, I do this thing where I'm trying to go to every NBA arena for a game. And obviously, I'm big into basketball. And what I do is I get a hat from their team shop. And so I'm going to have a glass case with all 30 teams' hats. So I call it the Triple Crown. It's a Houston game, Dallas game, and a Spurs game in the same season. I've done that. So I have those 3 hats. And then I've gone to Portland, Oregon for a Trailblazers game. And I've gone to Phoenix, Arizona for a Suns game. But obviously, money's a little tight, so I haven't gone anywhere with my buddy in a while, but I want to start back trying to do that because OKC is like a 6-hour drive.
That's not far at all.
It's not far, and then New Orleans, I believe, is 7 hours, so that wouldn't be too bad.
That wouldn't be bad. The game might not be the best though, because you see the Pelicans doing it now.
Hey, I'm trying to go to all of them, and then because like when I go to Nashville, I'm trying to plan a trip to go to Memphis. That's a 3-hour drive.
That's not bad at all.
And then Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's like 5 hours. So there's some ones I could finesse that are pretty cheap right off the fly. Cause, dude, flying out to Portland is expensive.
I believe it. It's all on the corner.
Dude, the plane ticket I want to say was like 800 something. The plane ticket costs more than what we spent on the hotel.
That's buck.
Cause the hotel we can at least split between me and him.
Yeah.
Shout out Calvin. But the plane ticket is you buying it outright because it's your ticket. Oh, dude, it was crazy. But
yeah, no, $800 for a plane ticket. I would sit there and be like, you know what? Afterpay. That's where I would have brought Afterpay.
I wish. But yeah, travel. But that's as far as I don't have like any. Do you have any aspirations like out of country traveling?
One place I want to go is the Netherlands. I really want to go there because I helped these 2 YouTubers with a TV show they were doing when I was a kid. I was like 16, 17 in high school. And they always told me like, oh yeah, it's a great place to go. Like if you're ever there, like we'll show you around the country. We'll drive you around for the day.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. Like when I was younger, so I really didn't think about it. But I was like, holy shit, your country's small enough to drive around in a day? I'm used to Texas.
Yeah.
You do a day, you're
no
getting like one corner. But I was like, so that's always interested me. I always want to go to England, of course, France, and then also Germany.
Germany? Yeah, I don't have any big out of the country, like, well, I take that back. I do want to visit Egypt. I say Egypt. I've heard everybody that's gone to Africa and to Ghana and or Nigeria that it's like they always say you gotta go, especially being, African American, like you gotta go visit the motherland. So I do want to do that. I'm obsessed with Egyptian culture, like growing up. So I do want to hit Egypt. And then I'm obsessed with Greek culture and history. So I want to visit Athens.
Athens, beautiful. I've seen pictures. That place looks gorgeous. Yeah. I'd actually add Italy to my list too. Italy would be fire.
Yeah.
Just because of history.
Yeah.
The pure history there and the architecture of everything. Like I want to go sit there and explore all that.
Yeah. Since moving here, Mexico's on my list now.
I agree with that.
But it's one of those things where like it's not really like a big thing, so like it might not happen for another 20 years, but like the opportunity arises,
You're
it'd be
not
so
gonna say no.
Yeah.
I get that. That's probably me with also like anywhere in like South America. Like I thought about Brazil.
Yeah.
And it's more so like that'd be cool, it'd be fun. But I'd really want to get off, even though it's a different continent. I'd really want to leave like this side of the world and just go over see what they got.
Yeah.
Way overseas.
Oh, dude, Japan. I feel like would be lit to visit.
I agree with that. Actually, one of my roommates went, and another friend of mine went. And actually, that's where he got engaged. But I would love to go there because they were telling me how part of the culture there is you can get like you work. They're always big about working hard, and everything like that. So when they get off work. They get off really late and they start drinking. Well, when you get drunk over there, you can just pass out on the side of the road. No one's gonna bother you.
Oh yeah, I heard it's super safe.
Yeah, it's super safe. I just want to sit there and experience. Maybe not get that drunk to where I'm passing out on the side of the road in Tokyo, but the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, I heard a podcast. I think it was Andrew Schultz, but he had went to Japan and was saying like there was a guy that got drunk, passed out, and he was on the side of the road and he saw somebody put a blanket over him, take his shoes off and like put them neatly beside him and put I rolled up his jacket and put it under his head and then just kept on walking.
Kept stepping. It's like you would never see that here.
No.
The pocket's gonna get ran.
Dude,
you got a pair of J's on, they're gone.
You're gonna wake up with just in your underwear.
You're gonna take all your stuff. You're gonna be like, where am I? Where's my stuff?
Oh man. So, working, grinding, working, especially retail, it's not hard, but it comes with a lot of bullshit. It's very stressful.
Yep.
What do you do to like get away, relax? Like how do you take care of your mental?
So this is bad to say, but what I used to do is just go home and I smoke a lot. Like I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not condoning that at all. Definitely don't smoke to get away. Don't smoke to escape. So something I've been working on more recently is just doing stuff with my roommates in my house. Because I'd realized I'd come home, I'd smoke, do my thing to get away. Then that smoke makes me so tired, I just go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm not interacting with my roommates. So now I'm trying to get home. I'll do a chore or two around the house. I'll chop it up with my roommates, maybe play some video games with them, and just decompress with my friends that way. Cause I mean, I'm living with 4 of my friends. Yeah. So it's like I had the perfect escape right there, living with me.
Yeah.
The boys. I just sit there and the boys, exactly. Yeah. So I'll sit there, I'll talk about work, get my little vent out if even, and then I'll just sit there and I'll game. I'll look at different like fashion styles. Like, always trying to sit there to put different bits together, and I'll just get away that way. Which now I'm also gonna be working on my life. Moving to Michigan, going back to school, everything like that, and hopefully get back to work now.
Yeah, for me it's obviously the gym, but I feel like that's a cop-out answer as a personal trainer. But gaming, gaming is like my holy grail when it comes to just get on the game. I game with the same friends I've been gaming with for my buddy Grant. We've been gaming together since like 2014.
Jesus.
And because we were suite mates, and when we stayed in the dorms, then we moved off campus. We lived together in a townhome. Then eventually I moved somewhere in the same city, but like we didn't live together anymore. Still game, and then he's in Cali and I'm down here. We still game Thursday, Friday nights every week like clockwork.
I wish I still had that with my gaming homies. So that's fire that y'all still do that.
Oh yeah,
because that's so hard to keep a friendship up for that long.
Oh dude, it's tough.
It's really tough. Like when me and my childhood friend reconnected, shout out Eric again. Like we stopped talking in 4th grade, and that was during the time where social media wasn't like MySpace was the social media.
Yeah.
Like that should give you an idea of where the internet was. So we didn't keep up. So the fact that you're able to keep a friendship for that long and gaming's the way to do it, I applaud you. Like that's such a hard thing to do, especially as you get older, because you both start getting lives.
Yeah, he's married now.
Exactly. You get family, kids involved, and it's like it's just a lot harder. So the fact that y'all can maintain that, like you have a schedule every week, that's respect.
Yeah, and luckily his wife is a gamer too. She was actually played with us last week, so that helps when you have a wife that either likes gaming or at least understands like this is his way to. Yeah, this is his way to. And then because we're not gaming because we're adults, like. When we were undergrad, bro, in the off season, we played GTA on the weekends. I would not come out of my room for 18 hours because we'd be like trying to like set up the businesses and stuff. But now it's just Thursday nights for like 2 hours, Friday nights for 2 hours. It's 4 hours a week.
Yeah, that's
like after work.
Like when you think about it, do you really need more than that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get it, cool. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But like.
Yeah, because I tried to get on. I got on Easter for a little bit. But yeah, but besides that, it's chill. Like scheduled and
as long as you keep that schedule going, you'll be straight.
Yeah, I've tried to, for my best ability, keep in touch with like whether it's my childhood closest friend. Shout out Kent Katzman. We haven't kept in touch very very well, and obviously it's a 2-way street because some of it is on like I could easily just reach out, try to get him on the pod. I might actually reach out to like get him on the pod at least from a Zoom. But he's started his own business and killing it. But like my buddy Calvin, who I do the NBA coverage with, and like the Garden 615, we've been friends since 2010. And every time he's the one I travel to the basketball arenas with. When I go home, he's the first person I hit up. Because sometimes I stay at my parents' house. Yeah. Sometimes I'll crash at his place because he's like lives kind of closer to Nashville. Because my place is like south suburban, like outside of Nashville.
Out there.
Yeah. My cousin T. I've known him since middle school because we didn't know we were cousins at first.
Okay.
We were just friends and then found out we were cousins. I've known him since middle school. I talked to him the other day. So there are some. It's tough, but
it's two-way street, like you said.
Yeah.
If you can both communicate and like maintain it, then you'll be straight. And what I've realized, especially with my childhood best friend. It's like I slacked on him the past few years, like keeping up with him and phone calls and stuff. But it's because we have 2 different ways of communication. I'm more of a texter, where I can shoot text real quick whenever I'm free. I'm not big on phone calls. He's the reverse. He's big on phone calls.
Yeah.
Doesn't really shoot text like that. And so after seeing him, like we both found that out, communicated that. So now we're both gonna be working on like, okay, you know what? Let me do a phone call today. Okay. Let me do a text today. And then also we gotta get back into gaming. That's where gaming also comes in clutch.
Yeah.
Because it's that way. It's kind of like a mixture of both, where you're doing something, but you don't have to think it like, oh, I'm just sitting here on the phone.
Yeah.
It's like you can do something else at the same time.
Yeah, and then you could have like since you're gonna game, you're gonna have like a couple of hours or a few hours of just
do whatever y'all need
just
to
bullshit, talking on the game. Yada.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm about to get back into coloring.
Really?
I bought a Marvel coloring book for $1 at Walmart.
That sounds fire.
It's like, It's basically a kid's book, but you know.
I better see that work. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man,
You go on break and see.
Bro, what? $1 is all I need, and then well, that's pretty much it, dude. That's pretty much it. For how big is music?
So I listen to. I mostly listen to rap. I started barely getting out to other genres, which I need to work on. But I'm big on music. Like, if I'm by myself and I'm not working or anything like that, I'm always listening to music. I always got my headphones in. I always got like a speaker on or something. You see me at work too. I get tired of our Street Pals. I hope you're not watching. I get tired of our damn CD.
That CD. I feel brainwashed when that CD comes out.
As soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work.
It saps the energy out of me.
Literally, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, I need to switch this. And the customers enjoy it too when we switch it.
Oh yeah.
Like there'll be that occasional song where they're like dancing to on the CD, but then it turns into that weird mashup, and you literally hear them go like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So, but when we're on there, listen, they're dancing the whole time they're in the store.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten away from music.
Really?
I don't listen. I don't listen to music like I used to at all. I'm just heavy YouTube now, like podcasts, YouTubes. I listen to this one. I don't know if it's a podcast, but he has a YouTube channel. His name's Dr. Mike. He's this doctor that's like a doctor at a hospital and like a community clinic or whatever. And he just educates on like misinformation and like misinterpretations of information and what is practical versus what's practical and versus what is how does he basically, just because something is significant doesn't mean it's like substantial, if that makes sense. Because you can have something that has a statistical significance, but it doesn't mean that it's sufficient enough for the general population. Yeah. Things like that. And his stuff is really good because if I wasn't in physics, I think I'd be in some type of medical biology field because like the human body fascinates me, the ability for it to heal, how the brain works, how diseases influence or impacts the body. So I absorb a ton of like medical doctor like podcasts or information stuff. So it's like when I work out, it's probably a podcast I'm listening to, or I'll watch a movie sometimes when I work out.
I get movies. I used to do that when I worked out. I watch a movie or TV show a lot. But the podcast, I honestly should probably start doing too, like, because those are just, you can find so many educational ones that aren't just bullshit.
Besides two, I listen to Brilliant Idiots, which is just, it's hilarious, because Andrew Schultz and Charlamagne the God, they're hilarious. I listen to Fighter and the Kid, which one is an actor / comedian, the other one doesn't do comedy right now, but that was funny. Outside of that, the rest of them are pretty educational. Yeah. Dr. Mike. There's another Dr. Mike who is a bodybuilder. I forget his last name because it's like Russian. The Pivot. Club Shay Shay is like kind of educational, but you get to learn from people's experiences. You get to learn about them. So I kind of put in the educational.
More like life learning right there.
Yeah, I put that kind of in the educational thing. I think, yeah, it's probably. And I watched this one YouTube channel called Outdoor Boys, where it's this guy lives in Alaska, and you can learn a lot because he goes out on camps and he'll show you how to build a shelter if it's freezing, how to build a shelter.
I think I've seen him
to like close in the heat.
The older guy, right?
Yeah,
he's on TikTok as well.
He's probably on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok like that, so I don't really know.
White dude with glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's skinny now. He used to be a little thicker, but yeah, his stuff is really educational. He'll like go through and be like, oh yeah, these berries will come in during the spring, and these berries you can't eat, these berries you can. So, and he'll teach you like if you're gonna build the shelter, you want to lay it like this or build it against this, and if there's ice, you gotta melt the ice first. You don't just want to put your shelter on top of it because so that's also like a big educational stuff. So
that's more like a survival too. Like if the world goes to shit, then especially with the way the world's going now, it might come true soon.
I love the survival stuff. I was in Boy Scouts, so I was like obsessed with like learning survival skills, building a fire, building a first aid kit, learning tourniquets and like basic first aid. Yeah. So like that stuff fascinates me. What's something that really fascinates you, whether it's with like people or like society or something like that?
Man, as bad as it is, it's really clothes and fashion.
Yeah.
I guess art in that way, because I also do like I do it, but I'm really not that good at it. It's just more so I do it for fun in my free time. But like I do street art, so I'm big on art. I also come from an artistic family, so that's why I think I fell into fashion so much and loving with it is because of how much you can express yourself through fashion. So that's why when I see people out and see the way they're dressed and stuff, it's like that tells a lot about who you are.
Yeah.
Use your clothes to express yourself and tell the world who, hey, this is me. This is who I am. That's when I tell people and they're like, oh, I don't think I can pull this off. It's like, do you like it? Yeah, I like it. That's something.
That's all that matters.
It's your confidence.
Yeah.
You like it. You're gonna look good in it.
Yeah.
Let people know who you are. Don't let them control the narrative. Don't care what they think.
Yeah, because to your point, fashion is relative to the person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love my fashion. Now, somebody that's like a fashionist or fashionista or whatever the word is, they would look at my closet and be like, this isn't fashion. There's nothing but black shirts in here and black
That's your
jeans.
fashion.
But that's my fashion. I like being able to, if I wear all black, because, you know, I'm into shoes. So here's how I logistically think about my fashion is I can wear it. You know how people come in and say, oh, I don't have anything to wear with this shoe. I don't ever have that problem. I wear all black, so no matter what shoe I put on, it's gonna match. I want you, when you look at me, the first thing you see is my shoes. So I'm wearing all black, my shoes pop.
You want that to be your eye catcher.
I want that to be my eye catcher. And then, you know, I'll throw on I got the Cuban link, and then sometimes I'll throw on, I got too many watches I need to sell. I'll throw on a watch, so like I can throw on little accents, but I want my shoes to be the talking point for my fashion. And so I just have I have 20 of these black t-shirts that I wear every day. I got 20 of these black sweatpants. I don't wear shorts. I only wear sweatpants.
I've never seen you in shorts.
I only wear
hot as hell.
I only wear sweatpants and jeans. I will work out in sweatpants, and it doesn't matter summer or not. I wear sweatpants year round or jeans.
That's crazy.
I don't ever wear shorts.
Bro, we live in the South. It gets to 110 degrees. If I squeeze in some joggers, dog.
Bro, I kid you not. When I was saying I was moving to San Antonio, they were like, "Oh, it's hot down there. You're not gonna be able to handle the heat." And I was like, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'm gonna be just all right." But yeah, it's like, cause I have leg tats. Nobody knows. Cause I probably
would have guessed, but I wouldn't have guessed what.
It's a thigh tat, and it's just my postal code, the zip code for Thompson Station, Tennessee, where I grew up, 37179.
That's fire.
And I'm gonna get leg sleeves eventually, but nobody's ever gonna know because I never wear shorts.
Yeah, you're never gonna show them off. So you can get all these tats on your legs, but you're not gonna show them off.
No, it's gonna be like my thing. It's like an inside joke for me. Even though it's gonna cost me an arm and a leg, it's gonna cost me 2 legs.
2 legs and like a couple $1,000s later.
Yeah, but like that's my fashion. I love like when I wear my jeans. I roll them up. I like to flood my jeans because I wear high top shoes. So I don't want my shoes to be covered by my jeans. So I like to flood them. But that's my fashion, and then I like jackets. So the only thing outside of my shirt and jeans is I'll get nice jackets. Okay. And the jackets will be my fashion piece outside of my shoes. Because I got like trench coats. I love bomber jackets or jean jackets. So I'll get outside of that. But outside of that, it's all black, jacket, shoes.
See, I wish I could say that. I wish I could just, wear all black. But you know me. You've seen some of the stuff I wear. I'm out there wearing the craziest pattern pants. Yeah. Craziest pattern shirt, jackets, colors. I like to wear a lot of colors because I feel like colors are just, it's an eye catcher. It's bright and fun. You can do a lot of things with it. But that's also, it's just my personal style of fashion. It tells a lot about me, and that's what I want it to do. And that's another reason I like it, though, is because not even just for, like, us, we're just doing it because that's how we dress. Other cultures, other places, that's, like, that fashion describes their culture. Like, it has significant meaning. So that's what I love about it as well. Is because, like, just because they're wearing it, you may think they look goofy, but that's actually, like, that means they're, like, royalty or whatever. Like, for example, like, I can't remember if it's Japan or China. I want to say China, because I actually saw Speed. He was, like, visiting them. Those dancers that have, like, they can change their mask really quick, and it's, like, with a pulley system underneath their ward.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they just, like, quickly pull it down, they can swing it right back, but it's really just them pulling off these thin layers of mask. Mm-hmm. And I forgot the significance of it, but I was like, that's sick. Like, I never thought to wear something like that and do it. And it's just cool how people, like, can do these crazy things. So I also have a lot of respect for people who make their own clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's hard to do. And so if you have something that you can sit there and you made it and you make it look fly, shout out my friend Kyle. He makes his own pants and his own clothes. That dude wears some of the craziest, coolest clothes. And I'm like, where'd you get that? He's like, oh, I made it. And I'm like, for real? I'm like, that's dope. So I want to get into that too. That'd be fun. Yeah,
that's dope. I love my fashion. I think as long as you like what you wear, that's all that matters.
At the end of the day, you're gonna look good. If you like it and you're gonna wear it and you're gonna wear it with confidence, you're gonna look good no matter what.
Exactly. That's all that matters. I know for me, for what fascinates me, and I think one reason why I started the Uncle Strib like podcast show or channel or whatever is I'm fascinated with how people think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated with what makes you tick. Why do you get out of the bed every day? Like, what are you striving to become? Because most people that I interview or have on the pod, for the most part, are fairly young.
Yeah.
Like, they still have aspirations. They're not, like, into their career. They're not where they want to be. Most people probably aren't. But, like, they're still striving and they're on the grind to get to where
they need to be,
where they want to be. And so I just love understanding how people think. I love like watching people. Like I watch people in the store and see like, okay, they're like, what are they thinking? Or if I see somebody do something, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but it just fascinates me, like the human mental condition for certain things, because certain things are learned, certain things are instinctual. Speaking of instinctual, did you know there's only 2 instinctual fears you're born with? Do you know what the 2 are?
I did not.
The fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Those are the only 2 you are instinctually born with in terms of fear. So if you're on like, if you see like a big drop off or a cliff, you might have never seen somebody fall off a cliff. You might have never been exposed to the actual dangers of falling.
Yeah.
But you have a fear of falling off that thing instinctually. Like just like babies, if you put them on a high up bed, they have a fear of falling off the bed because it's high to them.
It's just high up to them.
Or if you have a baby and there's a super loud noise, they'll start crying because they have an instinctual fear of loud noises and falling. Everything else is learned fear. Like there's a study they did where they had babies and snakes, right? And so what they did a 2-level study. One of them, they had the parents in the room with the babies. And the babies were interacting fine with the snakes because they don't know snakes can be dangerous.
They're just having a great time. They think it's like a toy.
Until they see their parents and they see the concern or fear in the parents, then the babies feel it.
Scared.
Then they're like, oh, something's up.
Yeah.
But when they had the other study with the parents not in the room, babies are they're in their snakes, they're touching the snakes, they're like super cool because it's almost like ignorance is bliss kind of thing.
Yeah.
They don't understand the levels of danger being around snakes could potentially have.
Crazy to think, actually.
Yeah, so like
it makes you think like how many of the fears that you have yourself were just from like experiences.
Exactly.
Or something that was quote unquote taught to you.
Exactly. That's like if you watch enough serial killer shows, you'll have a fear of somebody breaking in and attacking you. So, before I go to bed every night, not that I have a fear because sometimes I be wishing a motherfucker would.
No, we live in San Antonio. Anything could happen.
Yeah, but sometimes I wish a motherfucker would because I keep my shit loaded in the nightstand. Yeah. So unlucky for them, they better come in with a weapon. They come in with a knife. It's OV.
Yeah.
But I feel like that fear is instilled into you because you've seen what can happen if you don't lock your doors or window. So you always, before you go to bed every night, especially like even back in Nashville, if I was the last one to go to bed, I check the back door, make sure it's locked. We never unlocked our windows, so that was never a problem. But I make sure the back door is locked. I make sure the garage door is locked, the front door is locked. Because I have a fear that if I don't lock these doors, it'd be that one day somebody comes in here.
Night, yeah.
Right, because you hear like serial killers back in the 70s and 80s, before like this serial killer wave came through, it was normal for people to leave their doors unlocked.
Oh, yeah.
Because people weren't coming in, killing people.
And you don't hear about it as much either. That's another thing that people don't realize too is like, say this year, for example.
Yeah.
We've had all those plane crashes. People are like, oh, why are all these planes bombed?
Yeah.
Are we having more plane crashes? Or is it being reported on more?
Reported more, right.
And so now people are being scared to fly on planes.
Exactly. So learn fear. Because now you get on a plane, in the back of your mind, which I feel like most adults know that there's a risk of flying, but now that you see it happen more often, there was a helicopter that just crashed in was that in New York?
There was that New York one that I remember on my trip. I saw a small plane crashed in Nebraska, and another one crashed in, I want to say Indiana.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, I wouldn't want to go on a small plane.
Yeah, but because of all that, I feel like now people, when they're on the plane, it is a more active like, oh, this really like we could really have some problems. Yeah.
Like,
even though it's always been a possibility, but it's on your. I feel like
it's on your radar now.
Right, because you're seeing it's social media. That's really what
social media is really killing. I think social media is killing life personally. That's why, like me.
Explain that.
So for me, if you know me, I don't post that much. I'm not on there that much. I have it, but I don't use it. It's because in hindsight, I've been thinking about it, and especially me growing up, a person who, even though I shouldn't have been, I would compare myself to others.
Mm-hmm.
You see everyone else having fun, doing their thing in life. and then on social media, and then you compare it to yours, and it just kind of brings you down.
Yeah,
you're like,
these dudes are 21 with Lamborghinis in the house. And
exactly.
I'm still barely making it by. Yeah.
Think about it, back in the day, social media, like, you didn't think about that. Like, yeah, you knew some people were like that, but you didn't see it like that. So you didn't care.
Not especially at this volume. It seems like every influencer is making millions of dollars.
Because they're the only people that you see. Because they're the ones that are pushing your feet the most.
And that part of it, to your point, is a lot of that's fake.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff you see people flexing is fake money, or they can rent out. They can rent out like those planes that some of those are like fakes. They're sets.
Yeah, they're sets.
They're sets. Pictures. Right. And so you're thinking they're on a private jet when it's really cap.
Yeah, it's like they're actually on like a half a plane.
Yeah,
at
literally.
like LAX. That's just like a little display.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. But it's not even just in that aspect where you're comparing yourself to others, people that you don't even know. It's like relationships. You sit there and someone doesn't text you back, but you see them post.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not ignoring you. Like, as someone, for me, that I've learned this through just myself, is we work retail. My social battery gets killed by the end of the day. I don't want to talk to anyone, do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm going to post sometimes, but I may not necessarily respond to someone's text. And it's not because I'm ignoring them or like not wanting to talk to them. It's because I'm waiting until I have the social battery, the brain power to sit there and actually give you a proper response and think about it. Because if you want me to just respond before I post, I'm just going to send you like a one-word answer.
Yeah, short.
And then you're gonna think I'm mad at you or something. It's like, no, I just don't have the will to do that right now. I don't have the energy, the mind to do that right now. I'm exhausted. And so I think social media also played a big role in killing that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword, 100%. Like, at least from a business standpoint, it has really helped me in terms of growing my channel and being able to market without paying.
Oh yeah,
paying.
It's good for that.
Yeah, it's good for that. But like you said, it's the social interaction is just weird.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's also diminishing a level of like social respect. Like, for example, did you see that DeMar DeRozan got in a fight because a dude walked up to him and put a camera in his face?
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, like, walk
Don't
up."
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like part of that is because like he was trying to record something to put on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't just walk up to especially in a private setting. He's somewhere with his peoples. I don't know if his family's there, but he's with his people, his group. Some random dude comes up to you and just, yo, DeMar, it's like, hey, you can at least be like, hey, bro, can I get you know what I'm saying? Like some level of respect because of social media. You think you can just do whatever.
It's like, oh, they're a celebrity. They have to like be okay with me.
Yeah,
no, they're not. They're still a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah, like I don't know what because usually like in social media stuff's divided. I don't know how many people are like shitting on DeMar or shitting on the dude. I personally think because the dude ended up getting, DeMar had security. Dude ended up getting like handled.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, that's what you get for invading people's space. Yeah.
My best example for that and the similar situation was what happened to Jason Kelsey this past like Super Bowl time.
Oh yeah.
He smashed that dude's phone. It's because that dude was trying. He wasn't just putting a phone in his face. He was asking him all these personal questions because I forgot what something was going on with his wife or Travis or something like that.
Yeah, he started talking shit about his brother and his
family.
So
he just took it and just. I'm sorry, I've done the same damn thing. Someone comes up to my face and starts yelling at me about my family drama, my family business. That's not the public's business.
Oh yeah.
You put a phone in my face, I'm gonna take that. I'm a curb stomp it.
Hey man, you pull the tiger's tail, you get bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, it's people. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. Some people got to learn the hard way for other people to understand. And maybe I'm not gonna run up on DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
If I see him out, I might. Hey, I know you. Can I get a picture? Or like, can I get a video? Is that cool? No, don't take it personal.
Yeah, it's like
maybe he's with his family or with his people and he's getting ready for something or trying to get him in a mental space. No, then just be like, all right, cool,
Or maybe think about it too. He's a celebrity at the end of the day. This might be that one moment the entire week, if not the entire month, where he has to his actual self to sit there and decompress because he's in the NBA, especially this time of year, playoffs, everything like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Kings. The Kings are in the playoffs, right?
No, they lost in the play-in.
That's right. But even then, it's like you're still in the playoffs and everything like that. The off season where your life could literally change at the flip of a dime. Look at Luka Doncic with the trade deadline. It's like he's got so much other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs that moment to just be himself.
You never know what people are going through.
Exactly. You never fully know.
Yeah, just because somebody has money doesn't mean that they don't go through shit.
Yeah, they have their own struggles. Everyone has something going on.
Yeah, I feel like social media also like dehumanizes celebrities. People with money, I feel like it dehumanizes them because for some reason there's this notion, people pocket watch. whatever his contract is. Oh, he makes 20. I'm just saying some random number. I don't know what he makes per year, but he's making 40 mil a year. Like, whatever problems he has, he's got money, so he'll be okay. It's like
money doesn't solve everything. It's
like, come on, bro. Like, you don't, like, he might be dealing with a death in the family. He might be going through something at the house. Like you said, something personal. You never know, bro. So just because they got money doesn't mean they're not human still.
Yeah. Like, who's Chadwick?
Boseman?
Yeah, Boseman.
When people were shitting on him because he got skinny?
Everyone was shitting on him because he kept getting skinny and stuff like that. Like, some people are doing with Ariana Grande now, too, which I'm not sure what's going on with her, but it could be a health issue as well. You don't know what's going on.
You never know.
And guess what? Everyone found out when he died.
Yeah.
He was actually struggling. So it's like, you really don't know what these celebrities are going through because money doesn't fix everything at the end of the day. Like, I know right now, somebody that's crashing out, or seems like they're crashing out, people are judging Justin Bieber.
What happened to Justin Bieber?
He's just been, like, I guess he's been, like, spam posting, just posting weird stuff. He was seen smoking, like, they had a lot of videos of him smoking, and he was kind of hunched over at Coachella smoking, too, or something like that. So people were like, oh, he's
going through something, probably.
And people forget, too, if Diddy really did stuff to him, his like, assaulter is on trial right now.
Yeah.
His whole life's about to be exposed.
Right. If
that stuff's all true, it's like he's going through it. So of course this is the natural response. If I'd be upset too, I'd be going through my own thing.
Yeah.
Like, think about the worst thing that's ever happened in your life, and it being put on blast.
And then people are just in your face about it all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, would that not take a tear on you as well? It's like, I know for me it would.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like you gotta have a certain level of like human empathy for them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So I have 2 questions left from the last guest, which is Mia and Chadney.
Okay.
They left you 2 questions, 1 question each.
Shout out, y'all.
Do I still have? Okay. Oh, dang. I guess one of them I already asked. One of them was, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Which we kind of went over that. All right. So the next one is there a moment in your life that made you feel truly aligned with who you are?
Oh, that's a hard question. Thinking right off rip, I can't really think of a moment like that. But I'd say the closest I've come as of late, going back to the fashion, is when I'm at work and a customer comes in and is like, hey, I need a fit or something. I know it seems stupid, but like for me, I love helping people and I love, like I said, art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when I put clothes together for people and they sit there and they love it and they walk out with it and they're going to wear it somewhere nice. And I've seen customers that I help build fits at clubs and stuff like that. Like, hey, you got me this fit. That's where I feel most aligned because it's like that. I feel purely at peace and happy with that. So it's like I'm not only am I happy, but you're wearing something that I helped you put together and you love it. And you have to sit there and be like, hey, bro, remember you did this for me? Like, that's where I probably feel most, like, aligned with myself because it's like, maybe this is what I'm really supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always going to follow that passion to a degree. Because it's just fun seeing people get that happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely helping people. Especially helping people with something you're passionate about. It's got to be the best.
Like, that's the best thing in the world.
Yeah. And then off air, I'll have you leave a question for the next guest, which I don't even know who that's going to be because Ron backed out of our debate.
Did you see your stats, sir?
I think so, dude. I've been working hard on that thing.
Ron, why are you flaking? You got everyone else for flaking, now you flaking yourself.
I think I'm still trying to have a munch for like a normal one though. But
and then kind of like grill him, like, just randomly out of nowhere. Just like, hey, so MJ and LeBron.
Yeah, set him up. But yeah, man. Is there anything else that's on your heart, on your mind, or anything else you want to bring light to that you want to talk about closing out here?
Only thing I said there is just be yourself. Don't let anyone else control what you think, what you do for yourself. If you're doing it, you're happy with it, follow it and continue doing it.
Y'all heard it here. It's been Noah. I appreciate you.
Of course, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
I'm gonna chase my dreams. My life has me